Hello, everybody. My name is Kgabinator, and this is Rasslin and Logic, a new wrestling podcast that's gonna hopefully one day take the wrestling podcast industry by storm. And we're gonna do mainly AEW and NXT reviews. Today we're reviewing AEW Dynamite, their special TV show, Winter is Coming. This was on December the 2nd, 2020. And this is, here is my co-host, Josh Jenkins. So, could you introduce yourself?
I can. Um, Hello, guys, and gals, of course. I am Josh Jenkins, as I've been referred to here, or you could call me Triple J, I suppose, because I have three J's in my full name. It's a play on words, of course, for Triple H, but I think you've already worked that one out. And yeah, I am here today to do this podcast with Kgabinator here, and let's see how it goes.
Okay, so AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. So they had a nice a cold open for the show. A nice winter themed opening. Well, it's summer here in Cape Town. It's very sunny and nice and beautiful. Um, so it was a nice cold open and a nice looking pyro show. I introduced we were introduced to the show by Jim Ross, and this was apparently the biggest AEW Dynamite ever. Uh, I think the first episode of Dynamite was bigger because it had a much bigger rating of like 1.4 million or something. So,
Well. I would say that the first one is bigger because that is legitimately the first show of the actual series that is Dynamite, is the most important. It's the one that started the entire thing off. So,
well, apart from that one, this is their biggest Dynamite. So, the first match.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The first match, the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. It's like battle royals. They aren't really that good. Uh, most of the battle royals that I see on television are really badly done, and they're not fun to watch, and you can easily fast forward through them. I should have fast forwarded through this, but I didn't for some reason. Oh, anyway, so everybody's standing on the outside while Jim Ross is still introducing us. And the bell rings, and then everyone spills into the ring. But
actually, not
except for two guys, as Sean Spears and Scorpio Sky, and they're staring each other down, and Spears talking shit to Scorpio. And now the match was going on. I didn't take that many notes. I just took notes of the major moves that were done in this match. Ultimately, this didn't do anything for anybody. So now a bald head Silver, John Silver, another one of the bald head group. We had bald head Strowman at Survivor Series. Now we have bald head John Silver on AEW. And Alex Reynolds, his tag team partner, they did a nice looking tag team move, and then Hangman fell on the outside. He was almost eliminated, but a bunch of Dark Order guys came to Dark Order. How can you say that name and not just laugh?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Anyway, so Hangman is caught on the outside. He flips over the rope and then he does really nice looking buckshot there. I love when he does that. And then he eliminates a job guy named Serpentico, another masked job guy. Uh, so now, so now Hangman's celebrating with Dark Order guys, and I was like, oh my god, please do not tell me Hangman Adam Page, a future star on this program, is going to join a bunch of job guys who are so unintimidating and goofy. Anyway, so now Pat Patterson is acknowledged. They literally just made it like an afterthought. Like they made it like they didn't care about Pat Patterson dying. They just said, "Oh, our sympathy is for Pat Patterson. He died today." They didn't even do like a video of him to acknowledge him. But maybe they couldn't because he worked with WWE. But they could have done at least a 10 bell salute to him before any of this garbage. They should have replaced this match with a friggin' Pat Patterson tribute. So now, like Matt Seidel is in this thing as well, and he gets limited. And I write down like I'm really disappointed in how Matt Seidel has not only been booked but presented. He's been presented like a job guy. Like I've heard people say they can't present everybody seriously. So in that case, if you're not gonna bring someone in and present them seriously, then don't fucking sign them. Uh, so now Matt Hardy
I,
is what?
I, I, I'm just wanting to add on to your point here. If nobody, I'm sorry, I mean, okay, okay, if everybody can't be booked seriously, then to me, nobody should be booked seriously because it should be a unanimous thing. Okay, everyone should be treated equally, and they should all be booked seriously because otherwise, it's just not right.
Yeah, but some people don't deserve to be booked seriously or at all, like Joey
N- n-
Janela's and
yeah, yes, but what I mean is that I want to believe in each character that I'm seeing on the show. I want to believe in the wrestling that they are doing on the show. I want to believe that I can take them seriously as a character or as a wrestler on this show. And most of the time, I'm not getting that believable factor going into it. So yeah, you either book them all to be seriously, or you don't book anyone seriously at all. To me, that I am very on the line with that, you know. So
yeah. So I hate how Matt Seidel's been presented. Anyway, so now Matt Hardy is almost eliminated by freaking John Silver. Imagine if he got eliminated by a job guy John Silver. Like he's entertaining and he's funny, but he's in a group of jobbers who can't be taken seriously whatsoever. And he's good in the ring as well, but you can't take him seriously, and he's small. So yeah. So the dog. Oh, ah, oh, God. Yeah. So I said how how Doc or the court hangman. I wrote that later on, too late. So anyway, it's like, man, I actually did fast forward towards the end. It's like, I don't care about this, and I fast forward, and Orange Cassidy won. But before I give my thoughts on the guy who won, it's like Miro was showing himself to be a good wrestler, but the oldest story comes into play here. If he was
Yeah.
presented seriously from the start, this would be a great performance from him, from Miro. So, and Jungle
I,
Boy was also pretty good in this as well, but they eliminated him. So thanks for coming, Jack Perry. And I like this. They have a chance to make Jungle Boy finally a big star, but instead they go for the joke garbage wrestler who will never get over to any type of mainstream audience who is Orange Cassidy. This whole thing
and
was stupid. If people were tuning into this show for the first time and they saw that match, they will say, "I'm not watching this thing ever again. I don't see what the buzz is here." Yeah, so
yeah,
anyway,
and as you were saying there about Miro, um, not being as serious as he should be, I agree because that leads on to my point I was making a few moments ago. I look, you can't make me believe in someone being booked in a serious way just for one match. That doesn't work, especially when leading up to him being in this match, he hasn't had me believe in him as a wrestler who is supposed to be taken seriously as a kick-ass wrestler in that ring. Up to this point, this was the most kick-ass I've seen him since he debuted in AEW a few months ago. You can't just have him pull that switch and have him be serious now all of a sudden when he should have been this from the very start.
yeah,
Because there's a what's the word, there's a disconnect here, because if you go back and watch him from the start, he's a completely different wrestler in that ring, and I don't mean that by his moveset being different, because it's obviously not. But what I mean is his presentation is a lot different now than it used to be. And that's a problem to me, because there should be a follow through with this character.
if this was say for example Formula One and a young guy is making his F1 debut and he goes like, "Hey, I'm a new driver. I'm gonna drive for Ferrari and I'm gonna one day beat Lewis Hamilton and I like to play Fortnite on Twitch," and people on watching the TV will go, "This guy's a complete goofball. How is he gonna beat Lewis Hamilton when he's playing Fortnite on his freaking PlayStation?" So anyway, so so they've pooped the bed now. They've shit the bed already. So now the second match is Chris Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian from
Oh,
SCU.
hold
Oh,
on. Oh, just one
what?
moment. Okay. I okay. I just want to point out something about this battle royal, because I haven't really said much about it. You obviously don't like it, and I'm going to go above that and say I hate it. Not only was the in-ring quality of this match, I'm going to say poor, but the logic of this match, which is what this podcast is really all about here, didn't really make any sense.
Most for this, go on.
I'll let you finish first.
So I'm gonna say the wrestling logic scale for this one. It's not very long, so keep saying what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right at the very start, when the bell rang, almost everyone entered the ring at the same time. MJF, Wardlow, Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky, and Shawn Spears was on the outside. Okay. One, everyone should have entered the ring at the same time for this to be fair and square. Okay. Two, if there should be a rule that if you don't enter the ring at a certain amount of time, you should be disqualified. Okay. Which I feel very strongly about, because the rules I take very seriously. That is something you. And that is something you'll learn about me.
A few weeks ago, you said how you hated that Brock Lesnar got eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and we talked about how the goofy spots that they do in the battle royals where they fall on the outside but their legs don't touch the floor, they didn't go over the top rope. And you said that you hate that rule, and you said that if you're out, you're out. So
I'll get into that later.
I also feel that way. If you're out, don't do these goofy spots. They've been done to death now, and nobody cares. So if you're out, you're out. You go away. And then this was like Lana at Survivor Series when she won the battle, the elimination match. She sat there and did nothing, and then she capitalized at the end and won. This was the same with Orange Cassidy. He did nothing. Every Jungle Boy was having a star-making performance like Bianca Belair at Survivor Series, and then Orange, we found out that he wasn't eliminated, and then he won the freaking thing, and that made me so mad that instead of a few young, brave, determined young kid who could draw them money, they go for the joke guy who won't ever get over to a mainstream audience. And I'm sorry if you like Orange Cassidy, but that's what I think of him.
Yeah, and I'll get into that in a moment. Going back to the start here, Shawn Spears and Scorpio Sky were having a stare down, okay, outside of the ring, and then they both went into the ring, and then Shawn Spears, right, he rolled underneath the bottom rope back onto the outside. Now, to me, this should count as him being eliminated because he entered the ring. He is now officially part of the match. And then he left the ring. His entire body was out of the ring, so he should be eliminated, but he's not because, oh, that's right, he didn't go over the top rope. But to me, if you leave the ring in any capacity, you should be out. Especially when your entire body is out of the ring. Because to me, the 2 feet rule. The 2 feet man. Fuck off. If your entire body is out of the ring, that defies logic about how you are still a part of the match even though you're out of the ring. Look. The entire purpose of this match is to stay, guess what, folks? Inside the ring. If you leave, you're out. But no, you have to go over the top rope only to get eliminated. Fuck off. And that is why I have a problem with Miro later on, and Wardlow later on, and Orange Cassidy later on, because they all left the ring. But guess what, folks? Apparently, they were still in the match, even though they weren't even in the ring anymore. So fuck off. So to me, I don't really need to say anything about the actual match itself. I just wanted to mention about the logic of the eliminations. But I will say this before we move on to the next match. The Battle Royal, to me, should have one winner, not two, because it defeats the whole purpose of having the match. You know, and also, like, MJF is the current... Okay, going into this Battle Royal, MJF is the diamond ring holder, right? So why... Okay, so either he should be defending that in this Battle Royal, and the last man standing holds the diamond ring, right? Or they have this Battle Royal basically as a number one contenders match, and the winner faces him next week in a one-on-one match. Having him be in this match enough, and then in order to win, you have to have the final two. No, that's just bullshit to me. At that point, don't have this Battle Royal match at all.
So, Rasslin for because of Miro. Logic?
Because of the lack of rules that are not in place. There we go.
And what's the scale from 9 to 10?
I mean,
0
of
to 10.
of 0 to
Yeah.
10. Yeah. Logic, I'll say 0, because they broke the rules right from the very start. So.
Rasslin 4, Logic 0. Fuck that match. But anyway, match number 2: Chris Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian. And Frankie Kazarian comes out, and they're already going to the break. They're not even, the bell isn't even ringing. And now we come back from break, and Jericho comes out, and everybody's cheering for Jericho, despite him being a heel, despite him having voted for Trump, despite him having done all the goofy things he's done this year and exposed himself as being a piece of dog feces. Yeah.
But he's got a catchy theme song, so that's why they sing along.
Yeah.
But fuck them, because a heel should be booed. You know?
And that's a problem I have with Omega, which I'll get to later in the show. So you might as well turn him babyface at this point, since everybody's singing his song. So, but anyway, to the match. This, I didn't really take any notes because at the end of the day, it's just a TV match. But for what it wasn't a bad match at all. It was a good TV match.
I took a note about what Jim Ross said as Chris Jericho was making his entrance into the ring. And this is something I have not fact checked for myself. So I don't know if this is accurately true or not, okay? But Jim Ross mentioned that this is Chris Jericho's 2,725th match of his entire wrestling career.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. I forgot about that.
I don't know if that's a true fact or not, but that is what Jim Ross said. 2,725th match is what he said that this is for Chris Jericho in his career.
Yeah, at this point, since everybody's singing his theme song, you might as well turn him babyface. So this was a good TV match. But what I did take note of in this match, in the middle of the match, MJF came out and he was hesitantly gonna throw in the towel, but then Sammy Guevara comes out and stops him. Hey, what are you doing? And then he grabs the towel from him. And then the match goes on, and Jericho sees that Sammy tried to throw in the towel, allegedly tried to throw in the towel, and then Jericho beats Frankie Kazarian with the Judas effect. And now
I had a problem with this.
Wait. Hold on.
It's okay. It's okay.
So now MJF is accusing Sammy of trying to throw in the towel. Hey, he tried to throw in the towel. It wasn't me. I'm innocent. And then now him and Sammy are fighting and pushing each other and like, what's your problem, bro? You gonna throw in the towel? And now. And Jericho's like, hey, stop this shit. And I guess it's okay to say shit on TV. So now he says that they have 7 days to get along, and if not, they'll break the inner circle up forever. So, yeah, that was that. So, what were you going to say?
Okay, well, one, I don't think AEW is PG, so I think they can get away with having swear words being said to a certain point, of course. And two, I don't know about your viewpoint about this, but I didn't understand why MJF even came down with a white towel to begin with.
I mean, that just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, it felt completely random, and it felt out of place with what they have been building up to this point.
Yeah, and I know that MJF is trying to get a hold of the inner circle and take it over, but still, it didn't make sense to do this just out of nowhere.
Yeah. As I said in my notes, why the fuck would MJF have a white towel for in this match? Jericho, look, is Jericho not able to be booked to win this match by himself? I mean, why does... I don't know. Okay, there was no point in this match, right? Hang on, okay, sorry. There was no point in this match that to question if Jericho needed help from anyone. Because Jericho wasn't suffering. Jericho wasn't taking a big beating that he needed help from his team. From Jericho wasn't getting murdered out there. Like Jericho wasn't in the position of needing somebody else to come down and basically end the match for him. This was just a regular match against Frankie Kazarian. I didn't see the significance of a white towel moment needing to be done for this match in specific. So yeah, I just didn't understand that about this. I understand that this was a layer of friction between the group, because MJF wants to, be the new leader and all that, but this wasn't the right way, in my opinion, in how to progress this storyline in the logical way forward. So, because compare this now, Kgabo, to last year's Full Gear pay-per-view, when Cody Rhodes lost to Chris Jericho and MJF threw in the towel. That made sense. Okay, that made storyline sense for MJF to do that at that time for that match, because that match was important, and it was important to the storyline that MJF was to do that. To start up is his feud with Cody Rhodes, because I cost you the AEW title, and now you can never challenge for it again, right? What is the meaning behind MJF doing that in this match for Chris Jericho?
Yeah.
I just don't know. But as you were saying.
So, Rasslin, I'll give this a 6, but Logic, what?
I think I'll give this match a 6, or maybe even a 7 out of 10. Logic wasn't all there because at a certain point when they were on the outside, I counted a full 10 count when the referee wasn't even anywhere near the 10 count, but that's a problem that I have personally, because I like to stick with the rules. But apart from that, the logic here was quite all right. So I'll give it a 7 or maybe an 8 out of 10.
Okay, so Rasslin, matter of fact, I'll give it a 7 as well. So Rasslin,
Okay.
7, Logic 7. So anyway, now match number 3, Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D.
Wait.
Oh yeah, hold on. I forgot about this. I forgot about this. Hold on. I'm getting there. So we had a. This was so bad. I forgot.
Stupid. It was stupid. Fucking stupid.
This was so bad. I forgot to review it. So we have a backstage interview with, I think, Alex Marvez and the Bucks. Alex Marvez is so bad. And I had watched it. I'd watched this. As a matter of fact, we were going to watch this live at like 3 a.m. on Thursday, but it was so bad we decided to shut it off and go to bed.
Yeah.
So it's like I refuse to watch this again because it's so bad. Not only Matt Jackson's terrible promo, but just the angle, like why are these teams beating each other up? What the hell is going on here? So a new team named the Acclaimed is introduced to us, and good for them. I want to see what they're made of, but I'm not watching the Young Bucks, so good for them. So
can I just say something here? I understand that we are now in 2020. I understand that wrestling now doesn't have much of any kayfabe because everyone basically knows what it is. I understand the world of wrestling that we are now living in the year 2020. Okay, I understand all that, but and this is what got me to say, "Oh, this is fucking stupid." Okay, in this backstage segment here. For fuck's sake, Matt Jackson made a comment saying, "Didn't somebody else already do this gimmick?" And I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, did you really have to say that line? Like, was that necessary?"
He said gimmick on TV. They're exposing the business on TV, saying things that they should not say, like gimmick and promo and storyline and all that.
Exactly.
I hate it. I really do hate it. Somebody needs to go in there and slap these people whenever they say that stuff. Like somebody who was like Bill Watts used to be. Somebody to.
Sorry.
No, you can't do this. You can't say this. We're gonna stop doing this goofy shit, and we're gonna be serious. We're supposed to be all elite. We're supposed to be the best wrestling promotion in the entire industry, but here we are goofing around like a bunch of idiots. So stop this. Anyway.
And they are supposed to be a sports-based presentation, and nothing about this interview here, to me, was sports-based. I will just be honest. Nothing about that battle royal earlier was sports-based because it felt like a circus act. Chris Jericho against Frankie was fine for what it was. But that's a problem I have with this overall show, is that it's supposed to be sports-based, but it's not. And the Young Bucks were acting like children when, to me, they should be acting like grown adults, but they're not.
And they're in their mid-30s, so we can't really call them the Young Bucks. So from now on, we're going to call them the Old Bucks, because they're 35 now and 31. So... So anyway, the next match, number 3, it's Dr. Britt Baker.
Yes.
It's Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D versus legit Leyla Hirsch. So now Britt Baker is coming out, and Leyla Hirsch comes out after her. Oh, and I almost forgot, Britt Baker cut a nice little promo on Thunder Rosa, how she shouldn't be here, she should be in the WWE, and he said how she's gonna send Leyla Hirsch back to Russia, which is where she comes from. They didn't even do a video package on her. They just said she's from Russia and she was adopted by an American family. They need to do like 30-second introductory videos like Ring of Honor does, like where these people come from and why they're here.
Okay, I'll say this. I haven't seen an episode of Dynamite before this since July 1st. I have no idea who the fuck Leyla Hirsch is. This match, to me, I didn't learn a single thing about her, apart from her being from Russia. That's the only thing I learned. Yeah. So, and for me, they failed here.
Yeah, and Leyla is very good in the ring. She's a good-looking athlete. They could make her a viable contender for the women's championship if they can build her up, give her some wins, later cut some promos, build a personality, and then maybe they could make her a champion of some kind down the line. So, and Britt Baker wasn't that bad either. She wasn't working like a woman who's scared to break her nails. She was alright. She was meh, but it was a good TV match to make Britt Baker look a bit strong and uh, assert her dominance over the women's division, even though she's not the champion. But this was an okay this was an okay match, but it wasn't great, but it was all right. So, oh yeah, and
But
then there was an angle afterwards where a hilariously bad angle. It was when Thunder Rosa came out to try and fight Britt Baker for what she said to her, how she should get out of AEW. She shouldn't be there. I don't really know about this match that we're gonna see between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. I don't know if Britt Baker is ready for an actual pay-per-view match against Thunder Rosa, one of the best women's wrestlers in the industry right now. Besides Rhea Ripley, she's the best women's wrestler, no doubt. Uh, and we've got quite a lot to say about her next week, so tune in for that. So now
um,
they're having their angle. They're having their angle.
yeah.
Where Thunder Rosa is trying to fight the heels and Leyla Hirsch just sitting there. She's not trying to help anybody. All the referees come out there ringing the bell, uh, but Leyla Hirsch just sitting there. She doesn't try to stop the heels. She does actually try to fight Reba or Rebel, as she likes to be called. She gives
Okay.
a back suplex or something like that. So this wasn't a very good angle, and I don't know about the match we're gonna see at Revolution or whatever pay-per-view they're gonna do. So what do you think about this?
Yeah. Britt Baker makes me want to turn my TV off. Because, look, most of the offense that she delivers, okay, most of the moves that she hits, okay, doesn't look to me like they are affecting the opponent in any way. Like, when she does those kneeling super kicks, right? To me, it looks like she didn't even touch her opponent at all. What? Well, either because her opponent isn't selling being hit by the super kick, or I don't know, but it just doesn't look offensive to me, like it's doing damage to the opponent. And also, like, when Britt Baker was doing that sling blade on the outside, like, it was so sloppy, and it was just so. Britt Baker to me seems like a still, to a certain point, green wrestler in that ring, and she needs to work out like her balance. You know, I just don't connect really with Britt Baker and the way she
And
performs in the ring.
she can cut really good promos, like a mean evil girl that talks down to everybody. I like her promos, but some of the promos, especially when she had that really bad feud with Big Swole over the summer winter
Oh
maybe, like oh my god,
no!
those were so bad. So now, anyway, this is match number 4. Oh what? Oh, the wrestling logic seal. Rasslin,
Oh,
I'm gonna give it a 4 because it wasn't a good match, but Leyla Hirsch was good. So, and Logic, what did you think?
I'll just say 5, like in the middle. But my rating for the wrestling would be a 4 at the highest. The thing about this match, right, is that they were having two matches in one. That is the impression that I got, because they were doing all this technical grapple wrestling, right, and then all of a sudden it just switched to like it was a slam fest match. Like I just didn't. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, as you were saying.
So, match number 4, Darby Allin, the new TNT champion, and Cody Rhodes versus Powerhouse or Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs, they call him now. Well, I like that name actually. Versus Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is really good. I really just visually, you just when you look at him, he looks like a very talented guy, and he has like really good promos, and he plays a character of a like a really arrogant ladies man type of guy,
Yeah.
and a believable heel. I really do like Ricky Starks, but Powerhouse Hobbs, on the other hand, he's only been on TV for like 2 months, so I don't understand why they've already turned him heel when they've not really done anything. I don't know what caused him to turn heel, because that was one of the weeks that happened after I quit watching because of that dinner debonair, which I still hate to this day, and I hate everybody involved in it.
Will Hobbs, from what I can tell, he joined Taz's group, which I don't know if they've got a name yet for that group or not.
They're called Team Taz. That's what they're called.
What? Okay. Moving aside from that terrible name, Will Hobbs, I think he joined Team Taz when he attacked Cody with something, and then he joined Taz.
I think it was the FTW belt, which should be scrapped. And I hated that belt from the start. I never.
Question: how can Will Hobbs attack Cody with a title that he didn't even? Because it's Brian Cage who has the FTW title.
I don't know. I didn't see that segment, but I'm making the video package, which we'll get to now. That's what we saw. So yeah. So anyway, they did a nice looking video package, pre-match video package of what they've been doing for the last few weeks. But this feud to me has gone on for far too long. It's gone on for like half a year now. It reminds me of like the Seth Rollins versus Mysterio feud on Raw and SmackDown, which went on for way too long. And this kind of feels like that in a way. How it's been going on since May, and is nobody to me is really benefiting from it. Team Taz needs to find a new group of baby faces to go against. Maybe SCU. I think they could have some good matches. But they need to find baby faces to put against Team Taz. So what do you think about
that? Yeah, I think they need. Sorry. I think they need to move on to something else, because this isn't working. It's not working, and I'm saying this as somebody who hasn't seen a single episode of Dark since July 1st. Okay, and I'm saying just from this one match alone that this isn't working, and that to me tells a lot about this entire thing. Okay, because if somebody who hasn't really seen what's going on since July 1st can look at this one match and say this isn't working, then that to me is a major problem.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Oh, and Cody Rhodes, right? Why did he need that big grand entrance for this simple tag match for?
I was gonna say that. How he doesn't need to have the freaking big entrance every time he comes out. And he's coming out with Brandy and Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall and everybody and Ali, who's with Eddie Kingston and his group now. I don't like him having this big entrance. He should just come out and have a simple entrance. I For a TV match, he should save that big entrance for a big pay per view like Revolution, which is coming up next year.
And also he needs to cut down on the amount of fucking intros he has for his theme song. Like, Jesus Christ! Like, just have it be one song. Like, why does he need like 3 different intros? Like, oh Jesus!
And we'll get to Kenny Omega's entrance, which wasn't as bad as the last few ones. We'll get to him in a few minutes after we review this.
Yeah.
Now, Darby Allin is coming out to his theme song, and Cody comes out to his big, flashy, grand entrance, which is so unnecessary. And now Team Taz, Hobbs, and Starks, and I don't know if Taz was actually there. So anyway, they're already jump starting the match. They're fighting. I didn't even hear the bell ring, or did it ring? I think it did ring. My notes are flying everywhere. And they're already going to the break, and I'm like laughing. They're already going to the break, and there wasn't even a break spot. What a bad break spot to go to break to. And now Darby Allin is already doing a coffin drop onto Starks of the second rope. Now Cody tags in. I don't know if he held the tag rope or not.
No. And I can tell you this now for a fact. The tag rope wasn't there. I couldn't see it anywhere on any corner until halfway through this match.
I actually saw the tag rope a few times in this match. I'll get to that. No.
Yes, but the tag rope at this point of the match, right at the start, the tag rope wasn't anywhere to be seen at all.
Yeah.
And okay, I just want to mention this now before we carry on here. Every single tag match was it.
Oh boy.
Get that out of the way right now.
You were lagging a bit, so say that again.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Every single tag made in this match is illegal. Every single tag is illegal in this match because they didn't use the tag rope at the very start. So to me, every single tag made in this entire match is illegal. Therefore, whoever gets the actual win at the end is an illegal win. I just wanted to get that out right now. Okay?
So now the Cody gets tagged in, and him and Darby double Irish whip Starks to the rope. And then he comes back, and Darby Allin trips him with his leg. And then Cody gives Ricky a delayed inverted suplex, where he holds you up like that for long until your blood.
Do you mean a vertical suplex?
A vertical suplex. He
Yeah,
holds you
yeah.
and then I slammed him down. So he's got him up, and then his blood is rushing down, and then
Hang on. So it's like, like at an angle.
no, not at an angle, straight up.
Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he's
And
holding
then
him like no, it's the other way. It's an inverted suplex.
what?
I said it was an inverted delayed suplex, so he's holding him up like that. Hold on, hold on.
This is an inverted suplex because you go backwards. See,
I have no idea what that was. Some kind of. Hold on. So
and yes, I have a teddy bear.
hold
Okay.
on. So Cody was holding him like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's holding Ricky like this, and Ricky's blood is rushing down. And
Yeah.
Cody does that to poor Ricky.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Okay, that is called a gourd buster.
What is that?
That move is called a gourd buster. Gourd buster.
Okay.
It's a gourd buster.
What is it? A gourd.
Okay. Gourd buster.
Okay,
Gourd buster.
I got it. I'll remember.
Because I was like, wait, what?
I'll remember that.
Vertical. Yeah. Okay.
Hold on. Why didn't Excalibur explain that move to us? He's the basement mark who names all the moves and knows all the moves, the goofy moves. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't explain that one to us. So,
Matt's.
where was it?
Yeah.
Sock base. Call him as well. So Cody hits a gourd buster.
Yeah.
And now he's there in the corner, and Cody's giving Ricky a forearm and a chop in the corner, and they're doing back and forth, swapping positions and swapping position. Like they kept doing it. Okay, man, it's starting to get goofy. So I fast forward a few seconds, and now
You know what what? Oh, sorry. You know what that is, right? That's a heel tactic. Because if you're keeping the opponent in the corner, that's what a heel team usually does. But to me, isn't Cody and Darby supposed to be the faces?
Yeah.
So why are they doing heel tactics in this match?
You know, because there's no baby faces and heels in AEW, because that's old fashioned and we're the new age, and drives me insane, these people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway,
Yeah.
So they did those goofy swapping positions, and then Darby is tags in, and he's actually holding the tag rope. Imagine that somebody is abiding the rules in this match.
Yes, but because they didn't use the tag rope at any point before this to me doesn't technically count as an actual legal tag being made.
Yeah, so
you can't make you can't make up the rules as you go along. It doesn't work like that, you know.
So now
Sorry.
Darby's tagged in, and they're already going to the outside, and they're chasing each other outside the ring, like it's preschool, kindergarten, grade R bullshit, and I hate it. So then on the outside, then Will Hobbs comes and clotheslines Darby Allin, and then throws him into the barricade, throws him into the ring, and then the Hobbs, I think it was Hobbs, it was Hobbs. So then he hit a delayed vertical suplex on Darby Allin, and now Ricky Starks is tagging back in, and I don't know if this time it was legal tag. So now they do it.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
A double team on Darby, where one guy's holding his arms and another guy's holding his legs. Ricky,
Yeah.
Ricky and Ricky and Hobbs.
Yeah.
And yeah.
They lifted him up like a wheelbarrow, and they like tossed him in the air. You know.
So now, they do the double team, and Hobbs is mocking Cody with the push-ups that he did at full gear, and then Arn Anderson shouted at him, and I remember laughing at that because that was funny. So now, oh, that was before he tagged Ricky Starks. So now, Ricky Starks is gives Darby Allin a body slam. Then it tag in Powerhouse Hobbs already. Not even a minute, and they tag Hobbs back in. Then Hobbs is I think he was stomping on him, like not repeatedly, just one time, just holding his foot there on Darby, and then he gave then he held Darby Allin. He was doing this to him. He was like holding him like this, reverse bear hug, and gives him a backbreaker. Now it tags Ricky Starks in, and hold on, and then he stomps on Darby, and then he Irish whips him into the corner. They tried to run into him, and misses. And I think Ricky gave him a right hand, and now Ricky and Darby crash into it. My bad. Ricky Darby crash into each other, and they're laying there selling while the referee is counting. And now Will Hobbs is tagged back in, and yeah, now he Darby Allin was trying to crawl to his corner, but then Hobbs stopped him and was stomping on him so that he couldn't move. And then Hobbs tries to give him a German suplex, and then he's trying to wrench, and Darby Allin is trying to wrench Powerhouse Hobbs' fingers, and then Hobbs like gave him a bear hug. He was uh, flailing him around like a rag doll. Jim Ross even said he's ragdolling, and then he threw Darby like that, something like that, and now he's talking shit to Cody. And then
It was like he was cradling a baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
the baby,
Yeah.
The baby hold, I want to call it, but it's bear hug. And so, so then Darby gives somebody a boot in the corner. I don't remember who. And then Hobbs gives him a really nice looking. He's holding Darby Allin by the. He's holding Darby Allin by the ears. Gives him like that, and my earphones flew off. Yeah, like that. Then Starks it tags in. Him and Hobbs tried to suplex Darby, but then they tried to simultaneously to suplex him, but then Darby flipped over each of them, and then he finally tagged Cody, and Cody made a nice, really fired up, nice looking comeback, like the Angelo Dawkins comeback at Survivor Series, which we reviewed. You can
Mm-hmm.
check out that review. If you click on our channel, you'll find it easily. So now, Cody was making a
The
nice
the
looking.
so, yeah, yeah.
So Ricky is starts he gouge Cody's eyeballs, and then Cody ran to the corner and gave uh, Hobbs a disaster kick and made him fall on the floor. And then he tries to crossroads Ricky Starks, but then he counters. What's going on? What's happening?
You remember when you asked me to record the podcast on my side?
No, no, it's fine. I'm recording here. I'm recording mine.
Oh, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I almost had a fucking a heart attack there. I was like, shit. I oh, I was like, shit.
Oh, that would have been a disaster had I not been able to record. Oh my god.
Oh, because I only just remembered, like, hang on. Isn't it me who's supposed to be recording this? I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh my god. Good thing
Anyway.
good thing good thing I was recording now. Hopefully it still is recording. Hold on, let me check. Yep, it is
Well, it
still
better be.
it is still recording. We're over an hour now, so anyway.
Now, there's a moment for you.
I'll put that in.
Sorry about that.
I'm gonna make a bloopers video on my personal channel down the line. I was actually sweating. I don't know why, but it wasn't really a problem. So anyway,
Shit.
Cody.
Viewers, I apologize for me doing that there.
No, that was
Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
gonna make a bloopers video down the line. So anyway, Cody Rhodes tries to give Ricky Starks a crossroads, but then he gives him a contest, and then he does nice looking up. God damn, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is Twitter going off?
Oh,
Is Twitter going
fuck
off?
Twitter, man. Twitter can fuck off. Alright, okay. Back to this damn match. Okay.
So now,
Okay.
how many times do I have to say this? Crossroads. Cody tries to give Ricky a crossroads, but then he counters and gives him a nice looking uppercut, and then Darby Allin tags in, and Cody does this really nice looking cutter and he off the top rope, and then uh, and they do a dive on Hobbs, but at least they didn't do it at the start of the match. So yeah. So now
Yeah.
so finally Darby Allin does a coffin drop for the win. And after the match, they do an angle with Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson is trying to fight the heels. Then they take him down, and they're fixing to hit Cody or Hobbs. Uh, and Brian Cage is also they Dustin Rhodes came out. It was all a big fiasco. And Brian Cage gave Dustin F5, and then they're fixing Hobbs. Ricky and Cage are holding Cody down while Hobbs is fixing to hit Cody with the belt. But then the lights go out, and then there's a video package playing on the screen in the dark. Um, and then Sting comes out, and all the fans going crazy. Oh, it's Sting, it's Sting. And Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross are screaming, "Oh my God! My God! Sting is here for the first time in 18 years." It wasn't 18 years because that would have been
Mm-hmm.
2002. They said March 26, 2001. So it's 20. It was 19 years, you dummies. So next year it'll be 20 years since he's been on TNT. So
Well, more accurately, it's 19 and a half years.
yeah. So
Yeah.
then Tony Schiavone
Anyway.
and Jim Ross are going crazy. Oh my gosh, Sting is here! Sting is here! And I I didn't really go crazy for Sting because I've never seen him again. I only started watching wrestling in August of 2019, so I haven't really seen the big stars except for John Cena, uh, who I
Mhm.
grew up with. So he's staring down everybody, and it's like quietly staring down each of the guys there. And so when Brian Cage hit that F5 on Dustin Rhodes, they after that segment, I had fast forward a few seconds. So they announced a few goofball matches with Young Bucks and Orange Cassidy and all those goofballs, and then they announced a match with FTR versus the Varsity Blondes, consisting of Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. And I wrote down there a little peeking eyes
Okay.
emoji. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
I wrote a peeking eyes emoji. You know that one that you see on social media. So and then they advertised uh, Dustin Rhodes versus 10 from the Dark Order. Why was this guy? Why not Brian Cage? Because Brian Cage just gave Dustin Rhodes an F5. What sense does it make to put freaking Dustin Rhodes against a Dark Order job guy, a fairly big job guy? Next week. It should have been Brian Cage because he just got F5 by Brian Cage.
Uh, yeah.
So now they advertise what's gonna happen next week, and I don't really care. Probably, if I was doing this podcast with you, I wouldn't watch. So anyway, there's a backstage interview with Alex Marvez and Hikaru Shida, and Hikaru Shida was saying, "I'm not afraid of Abaddon." She can actually speak quite fluent English now. She still needs to work on the accent a little bit, and she was saying how she's not afraid of Abaddon, and she's just cosplaying a zombie girl, a dead girl,
Mm-hmm.
and she says how she does cosplaying as well. And then I started laughing. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't hear to see what Jim Cornette has to say about that because he hates when wrestlers do cosplay and he calls them cosplay wrestlers. So he actually released his new podcast. So I'm gonna listen to that after this. So anyway, she said if Abaddon wants to fight me, she can come and fight me. I'm not afraid of him. So anyway, that was that. So now we have a Bex. Hmm?
Do you? Okay. Okay. How? Okay. How do I say this? Do you, okay. You don't mix like when somebody has a superpower. Do you find that to be a believable thing for wrestling
No,
to be
no,
doing?
no, 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 not at
Okay.
all. Not at
Okay.
all.
Because
Who's
because
got this
okay.
superpower?
Because the reason I ask is that Abaddon is one of those characters that seems to be like a supernatural type of wrestling character, and to me, I just don't think that that type of character works in this generation of wrestling. No, I just don't think it works.
It's not believable, but at the
Uh,
same time, at least it's not offensive or silly or goofy or over the top, just blatantly phony. So yeah. So now they do a backstage promo with John Moxley. He did a really nice promo. He always does good promos, but he has a hard time following up on the matches, which I'll get to. So he says promos have been cut, so I'm like, so you can say promos have been cut on television, not even local television, but national, if not worldwide television, American national to be exact. Uh, so anyway, that was that. What?
the, the word promo shouldn't be said by a wrestler on a wrestling show because that just ruins a part of the illusion of it being
Hold on,
wrestling.
I
You know, I just don't want to hear those words being said.
I forgot something. I forgot to say the Rasslin logic scale for the Cody and Darby Allin match. For
Oh,
Rasslin,
okay.
I'll say maybe 7. Maybe I'll say 7. But logic, I don't know. Maybe a 4 something.
Logic to me is a 1 at the highest. And that's me being very generous there about that. And for the wrestling, I'd say a 5 at highest.
Okay, so
But
me
but that's but that's me.
Rasslin.
So
So Rasslin 6, logic 4. So or 1. So work on the logic, boys. Work on the illegal tags, please. So anyway, in the main event, the AEW World Championship match, John Moxley, the champion, versus Kenny Omega. And Kenny is coming out and like Justin Roberts still does the goofy introduction, like he's like Kenny Omega has won 16 world championships, and he's from North Carolina, and I was like, at least he got rid of the goofy dancing girls, and I was. I was fixing to say I spoke too soon because it looks like they were gonna come out at any second, but they didn't. It was like, which is good because I don't need to see those fucking girls on there. I hate them. So, what did
yeah,
you think of that entrance?
I thought it was some improvement, you know, but I'm not To me, it's too early to be getting this title match.
They should have done it at River.
This should have been.
They should do it. They
Yeah,
should have done
this
it at
should have been saved for the pay per view.
Yeah, and they're giving away a pay-per-view quality match on free television. I don't understand the logic behind that. So already logic points are down. Uh, so at least
Well,
they
yeah.
got rid of the goofy dancing girls with the brooms and all that goofy shit. Fuck that. Fuck those girls. So I like Kenny Omega. I like Kenny Omega, but his attitude towards wrestling as a whole and the way he approaches his matches, it's not a fight to me. It's a performance. No, you should, whether people think it's fake or not, you should try to present your match like like a simulated fight and not a performance, because that's stupid. And you'll see his movement around the ring is like flimsy and uh, flowery offense. Some moves look hard
Yeah.
hitting and impactful. It's like one of these girls matches on Raw, like with Nia Jax and Ron and those goofballs and I like Moxley. I like John Moxley as well, but I hate the type of matches he has. Uh, he likes to fight on the outside. He likes to use furniture and glass panes and light tubes and thumbtacks and alcohol and all that garbage stuff, that CZW, ECW garbage. Uh, and now, and Don Callis, I guess the EVP, one of the EVPs of Impact, is on commentary. He's actually pretty good on commentary. So, but everybody in the crowd is cheering Omega. Why are they cheering him? He's a heel. I alluded this in the Jericho match when everybody was cheering Jericho, even though he's a heel and he voted for Trump and he did all that goofy stuff. I was questioning why they're cheering Omega, even though he's a heel. So they're having a stare down. I didn't really hear the bell ring because I had the music in the background one because it's hard to take notes on this or just stuff there. So there was a lockup. There was some mat wrestling, some scientific wrestling, and I at the start I thought this would be an okay match. They weren't doing anything over the top. They were having a good in ring match. And then until they start going to the outside and they were fighting to the outside. And like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were fighting outside for the ring, and I was like, this is stupid. And I started fast forward through for a few minutes because this is just goofy and I don't know why they're doing this. It's so stupid and get in the freaking ring and have a match because I'm already taking wrestling points away for this. So and they're also fighting outside during the break. So it was like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 minutes of fighting outside the ring and doing all these stupid stunt show, unnecessary bullshit that they like to do. That's what did you think of them fighting on the outside?
Well, I don't like it.
And I said in the full gear review that
stupid like.
if I were Tony Khan and Tony Khan was smart, I would find these guys $5,000 each time they fight out the ring. So that's $15,000 each, because so that's $30,000 for me because they were fighting on the ring a total of 3 times uh, outside the ring.
And I didn't count. Sorry, I didn't count the count outs here because I didn't. I would have lost track, obviously. But they probably got counted out a few times. But the referee, because he's so fucking lenient, because the referees are so fucking lenient with the rules.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you were saying.
So Omega was making goofy faces at the funny looking mannerism, the finger pointing and all that stuff. So now they finally get back in the ring. They actually get back in the ring. They Omega did this nice looking uh, Kotaro Crusher. That's what it's called, by Kenny Omega, and then he was stomping on Moxley in the corner. And now and he's giving Moxley some chops, and Moxley has a headlock, and then they get a rope break, and they're in the corner, and Kenny Omega gives Moxley a low blow, and then he drop kicks Moxley on his bad leg, his injured leg. Did I mention that his leg was sore when they were fighting on the outside, which I honestly didn't care about.
No, you haven't
So
mentioned that yet.
so now Omega is doing more goofy mannerisms, uh, and then Moxley did this really nice looking clothesline, wow, boom, and I was listening to music, and right on the beat of the chorus, Moxley did that clothesline. As the there couldn't have been better timing for that. So now Kenny gives Moxley a knee bar. I was like, this match is going on for a really, really long time, and I just want to fast forward through the whole thing. There's nothing that's making me really interested in this match and making me really want to watch it. That's gonna make me want to watch it again. And there's nothing in here that's gonna make me. That's gonna be. That I'm gonna remember in 5 years, or much less in a month. Uh,
Yeah.
so Omega is giving Moxley a knee bar, and then they get a rope break, and he is fighting Moxley in the corner, and then he tries to give Moxley a Death Valley driver, but then Moxley escapes the Death Valley driver attempt and gives Moxley a German suplex, and then he gives Moxley another one, and he tries to give Moxley a third one, but no. Gave Moxley gave Kenny a second German suplex, but then he tried to do a third one, but then Kenny Omega tried to counter, but then finally uh, Moxley got a pump handle exploder suplex um, by Moxley and tried to pin him, but then he kicked out. And then Moxley did this nice looking move. Hold on. So he's got the guy in the suplex position, and then he does that. So if you could have your Excalibur moment and try to explain that move to me, if you can. What's the name of that move? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm not actually sure. The I think it's called the Xplex.
Xplex.
You know what? I'll have a check on that now. It'll only take me a few seconds. Anyway, Xplex. I spelled that wrong. Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. As you were saying, because you've got the name of that move now. So.
Okay, so then Moxley does the Xplex, and they now go to the break, and then Kenny Omega did a dive on Moxley during the break, and now they come back from the break, and Kenny tries to do some kind of springboard move on the from the apron, and then Moxley catches him and gives him a paradigm shift DDT. So then they put down the chairs and like, oh goddamn, no, I'm not gonna look at this. And I fast forward a few minutes, and then they're finally done doing the goofy chair spots, and Kenny gives Moxley a low V trigger, and then Kenny is giving Moxley a few Snapdragon suplexes, and Kenny tries to do another V trigger, but then Moxley scouts it well and gives him a German suplex. And then Moxley does another, not Moxley, Kenny does another V trigger, which I don't like. And then Moxley is giving him a clothesline, and then he gave him a paradigm shift and tried to pin him. And Moxley did this really sloppy looking dive, and Kenny caught it with a V trigger. And then they get in the ring. Watch this. And they get in the ring. And gives Kenny a missile drop kick and a V trigger in the corner. And gives Moxley a Tiger Driver 98 and tries to pin him. And now he's in the ring and he's giving Moxley some knees to the face. And then he gives him another trigger, a V trigger. And I'm like, how many V triggers? They can't keep doing this. That's what made me dislike this match. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it because they started doing repetitive moves and fighting on the outside and doing goofy spots that made me not like this match. So, so,
and also there was too many finishes.
exactly, which is what I really hated about this match. So
Hmm.
Kenny tries to give Moxley the one-winged angel, uh, and then they're reversing each other's moves, and then Kenny Omega does this nice-looking drop kick, and I'm like, and and gives he gives Moxley another V trigger. It's like, okay, this is. I'm starting to hate this match. And then Kenny Omega does some kind of move. I can't remember exactly what it was. And now they go back to the outside again, and they're fighting outside. And Moxley is on the ground, and all the medic. No, or was it? It was Kenny. It was Kenny on the outside, and he's laying there selling, and all the medical staff come out, and Don Callis leaves the commentary table, and then he goes to tend to Kenny Omega, and then Moxley brings him back into the ring and starts to fight him, and Don Callis is trying to call off the match and say he's hurt, shut this shit down, and then Moxley goes up to him and punches him, knocks him down, and the rose petals he has on his shoulder, I think his right shoulder, his left shoulder,
Yeah.
falls off and sprinkles down, and then Kenny Omega is holding the mic, and then he hits Moxley with the mic, and Moxley starts bleeding from the head, from the top of his head, his forehead, um, and now he's giving more V triggers to uh, uh, with this time he lowered his kneecaps so that they hurt, that which he should have done to begin with, in my opinion. And then he gives a Moxley a V trigger to the back of the head, and now he finally gives uh friggin' who's Watsi Moxley one winged angel for the win, and now he's a new AEW champion. And Eddie Kingston comes on the commentary and is yelling, "I want a shot next week," or something to the effect of that. And now Don Callis, they're running backstage away from everybody, and then Alex Marvez comes out, hey, Don, Kenny, what's going on here? And then Don Callis announces that Kenny Omega is going to explain himself on Impact on Tuesday night, which I'm still not gonna watch Impact because it's so irrelevant. And Eddie Kingston wants a shot while they're fading to black, and I guess he's gonna be on Impact now. And they get into the limousine and he leaves. So that was AEW Dynamite Winter's Coming. It was. And by the way, this match, the Rasslin and Logic scale, we almost forgot. He's not gonna break this scale. He may have broken Meltzer's scale, but he he for damn sure didn't break this scale. Nowhere near. Wrestling was 5 because they did all the goofy spots and shit that took me out of the match that I didn't want to see. Uh, so wrestling gets a 5. Logic, I don't know. I wasn't really a fan. Since you were saying how you, Josh, was saying how the referee was a bit lenient to count out, then that's a problem. They go out there for 3 minutes and they're fighting on, and the referee doesn't even count. So logic is a 4. So wrestling is 5 out of 10, and logic is 4 out of 10. So overall, this show for wrestling gets a 6 from me, and Logic a 3 from me, and from you, the match first. Give your scale.
I would give the match probably a 5, like you said, at the highest, because they were trying to give off a pay-per-view quality of a match, which I'm not really against, but it didn't have its time and place for that here, for me personally. And the Logic, as you all know, was basically not non-existent, especially with the rules. Especially with this match supposed to be a regular match, right? If a DQ happens, then the match should end, right?
I was hoping that that's what it would be. From screenshots I was seeing, I thought it would be a good match, but I was disappointed greatly.
And the result about this was wrong. Kenny Omega never should have won this match. Look, Kenny Omega have won the AEW title on his first time. No. Kenny should have earned this. Because Kenny just had his AEW tag team title reign for however many months that he had it for, right?
I didn't like that reign at all. The goofy Hangman and Kenny stuff, like how there was tension between them, and then the really dark place. And I hated it. It was stupid.
Yeah, and Kenny Omega, right? He came off from that tag team to becoming the AEW champion way too quickly. Like, this was way too soon. Like, he shouldn't have had this title win until next February for the Revolution pay-per-view at the earliest. Now is way too early for him. This match should have ended via a time limit draw. This is how this should have ended. But no.
It's a 60-minute. It's a 60-minute time limit, which means it would have gone way too long, and I would have just, man, I can't watch this anymore, and I would have fast forwarded.
This match should have been 20 minutes, at most. And it should have ended in a time limit draw, but is that what happened? No. Kenny had to win because of interference from somebody from Impact. No. I hated the ending of this. I hated the result of this. And also, this to me removed the kick-ass believable factor of Jon Moxley. I'm not going to take Jon Moxley seriously ever again because of this one match. Jon Moxley has faced opponent after opponent after opponent. He has kicked the ass. He's had his ass being kicked, and he's come through at the end as the ass kicker that he is, right? This match, no.
He was getting his ass kicked. He wasn't beating Kenny Omega into powder, and then it should have been like Moxley beating up Omega, and Omega
yes,
does a heel tactic. He cheats to get the win. And by the way, of Kenny Omega being a heel, there's nothing that makes him a believable heel. There's nothing really heelish about him. He doesn't talk
Mm.
shit. He doesn't cheat. He doesn't lie. He doesn't steal. He doesn't say things behind anybody's back. There's nothing that makes him believable as a heel. They literally just turned him heel so that he can be the cleaner and he could have the good matches like in Japan, which is a bullshit to me.
Yeah, sure, but if he was wanting to do that, he should have done that from the very start, because there's a very big disconnect with Kenny Omega and his character progression, which I don't like, because I've never liked Kenny's character in AEW and the way it's been handled. I've never liked it.
And the wrestling part, he what I said at the beginning of the match, he was approaching this like a performance. You could see it. He was like so flimsy and soft and flowery and ballet-ish and uh,
I just want to say this now. We, as the audience, we know and we understand that wrestling, to a certain point, is, in quotation marks here, fake. Okay? It's fake, but it's not fake at the same time. The moves are real because they can get hurt, okay? I am not doubting that,
don't
okay?
do them right, you can get hurt.
Exactly. So it's and it's not at the same time, okay? It's one of those things. But we, as the audience, are not the wrestlers in the ring, okay? There's a disconnect here. We can say, oh, that doesn't look believable, as much as we want to, okay? Because we're the ones who are watching what they are doing, okay? But they are the wrestlers, and as the wrestlers, they should be having the audience believe in everything that they are doing in that ring, and even outside of that ring with promos and interview segments and all of that, okay? The wrestlers are supposed to make us believe that it's not fake. They are supposed to give us the impression that it's not fake. They are supposed to sell us on wrestling being real, okay? When they don't do that, and we, the audience, still complain about it being the way it is, then that's on the wrestlers. That's not on us. The wrestlers should be doing their job, which half of the time they're not doing. Because kayfabe isn't kayfabe anymore. Kayfabe has been dead for a few years now, if not a few decades now, even, which pisses me off, because wrestling should be protected, wrestling should be taken seriously, and wrestling should be believable.
Other than that, this was an okay show. It wasn't bad. There was nothing over the top goofy except for Orange freaking Cassidy winning the match, the Battle Royal.
Yeah. And the thing that we didn't really speak of much, which I've noticed, is that we basically skipped over Sting's debut.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, but not really. I'm just going to say this quickly here before we come to an end here. Sting, I don't mind Sting coming to AEW, but the way this was done was confusing, and it didn't make sense towards anything that was going on in that match. Sting came out, he stared at everyone down and then left.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't I didn't get.
He did his bird call thingy.
I didn't care for Sting being in that ring at that moment of this show. I didn't care for it because it didn't make any logical sense for him to make his debut in that way. And some are saying this is the most perfect wrestling debut of all time. And I'm saying, hold on. No, it's not. Fuck off. Like, no. Sting. There was a better way of introducing Sting onto AEW programming. This was not the way to go about it. But they can hopefully give some light upon this in the next few weeks and explain why they've done it in this way. So that's really all I wanted to say about that.
So overall, this whole show, the wrestling aspect, I'll give it a 6. The logic, I'll give it a 3.
Okay. Wrestling, I'll give it a 5 at the highest. Logic, I'll give it a 2 at the highest. And that, to me, isn't a good show.
Okay. So you need to work the wrestling. They need to work on just a little bit. Weed out some of the goofballs. The logic they need to work on quite a lot from what we've put out. So anyway, this was the first episode of Rasslin and Logic. Next week we're going to review the next episode of this show, AEW Dynamite and NXT Takeover War Games number 4,
yes,
2020 edition. And we're gonna talk about which is happening tonight, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that Monday morning, and I'm gonna take notes on it, and we'll review it on Friday and release it on Saturday, hopefully. Okay. This was Rasslin and Logic. I hope you guys all enjoyed this show, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.